Hi, how are you? I am so sorry, you guys. Today was not planned well. And I don't know why that is because I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning and yet here we are at 10:01 and I'm still discombobulated. So, how are you this Saturday? I hope you're doing well. I am still putting on my skincare, but that's okay. I am feeling much, much better, and I feel like that is very evident in my skin today. Hold on, I didn't even realize. See, this is how discombobulated I am today. I didn't even realize I mean, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't come out that great in this camera, but still. Good morning, Miss Sandra. How are you? Happy Saturday. This week came by so fast, but I did get a chance to kind of sort of make my coffee. I was blending it with, you guys know my hand blender that I always use. Apparently it died and in the middle of a mix. And I was like, no. So it's a little like stuck to the sides, but I just had to transfer it into a shaker bottle so that I can shake the crap out of it and get it mixed together well. So this morning's coffee is Starbucks brown sugar cinnamon K-Pod, and then the Primal Labs Mexican hot chocolate that you guys know I love. And that is what my coffee is today. And apparently I don't know how to put a lid on. I lost this straw. I don't know where it's at. No clue. But I've been using these straws. What do you got going on today, Miss Sandra? Anything fun? Anything exciting? I hope so. Is that let me see. Trying to make sure. Okay. Nope, I never even got it. Okay. So, got anything interesting going on this morning, Miss Sandra? Anything fun planned for your day? I think David and I are just going to go buy some groceries. I have not had a car all week. It was a sudden thing. It was very sudden and last minute that option was. Good morning, Miss Hargy. How are you? How are you this morning? I was just asking Miss Sandra if she had any plans for Saturday today. That David and I are going to do a little bit of grocery shopping. As Hargy knows, I have been without a car all week, and I will not have a car next week. So right now that we have a car that don't have to he's been taking the car to work every day, just regular household chores today. Well, I'm glad that you at least get to have a day where you can dedicate to that, because I wish I was more organized with stuff like that. I'm not at all. I wish I was, but I'm really not. And for me, I don't do well when I don't have a lot of structure, and I need to have like a plan and structure. I'm doing well. How are you? Good to hear, Hargy. Good to hear, Miss Hargy. I'm well, thank you. Running behind this morning. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I am losing my mind a little bit today, and that's okay. I wanted to show you guys a couple things, and I got distracted, and then I forgot, and then I got an order at the door, and David's like, hey, you got mail. I didn't even look. I didn't even grab it. I forgot, and now I'm losing my mind. But just in case you're wondering, Hargy, today's protein coffee is, I forgot to tell you, Sandra, it also has the Fairlife protein milk. So 13 grams of protein from the protein milk, 23 grams of protein from the Primal Labs Mexican hot chocolate protein powder. And so what is that? 33 grams of protein in this coffee today. This one so far is, I don't know if it's my first favorite or my second favorite, but my other favorite is this one, the Fruity Pebbles mixed with the sweet cream. These together are bomb.com. And I was going to make this one today, which is why it's in here. But I don't know what I was thinking, and I didn't. I don't like plain coffee, but I love protein coffee. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear it because it can be amazing if you do it right. To me, pretty sure it was you, Hardy, who was having a problem getting it to mix right, the chai protein powder. If you do not mix it properly, I hate it. But when it's mixed well, that's great. My doctor banned me from my coffee until I see a cardiologist. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Girl, if you like that coffee cold brewed, I'm not sure. Is there an Aldi's where you're at? There's a little Aldi's here. There used to be an Aldi's like right down the street from me, and then they closed it, and I was so sad. Like, ugh, it was terrible. But that one closed like a year or two ago, and I was so upset. Aldi's has right now, and I don't know why I'm tilting my computer screen when my camera is separated. There we go. So there used to be what the heck am I? Hold on. Sorry, I'm like totally distracted because it's blocking my view. There we go. But there is currently right now for summer or spring, summer, a cold carafe at a cold coffee craft at Aldi's. It's $10. I seen it and I was going to buy it. And the reason I didn't buy it was because I thought it was plastic. I must have read it wrong, or I must have been distracted. I'm always distracted. So that's probably what happened. But I didn't see it right. You shop there every week. If you like coffee, if you like cold brew coffee, or if you don't like coffee, because you said you don't like coffee, what is it about the coffee you don't like? For me, I don't like when coffee's bitter, which is why I don't really like hot coffee. I prefer a cold brew coffee. And the reason for that is when you cold brew coffee, you never introduce heat to your coffee beans. So the acidity that it has never comes out. So it doesn't get that weird bitter flavor that coffee has. So if you cold brew it yourself, you get rid of that. For me, what I love to do is it depends on the size of your carafe, right? So mine, the one that I would always make, it is 64 ounces. So for 64 ounces, I can fit in there 1 cup of coffee, ground coffee, fresh French press cut size, because they come in different sizes. The grinds comes in different grinds. Was it the limited by the season? I am not sure. I don't think it was in the seasonal stuff. I think it was on the other side where they had the camping gear and stuff. But the little Aldi that's by me, they're moving it all around. So I don't really know what's where right now. But it's definitely a seasonal item. It is definitely not going to be here past summer, at least. And a lot of times what I can't stand about Aldi is that they only pull it out once and then they never restock. So if you can find it, it's worth it because it's only $10. It's a glass carafe. It already has the filter built in. You put your grinds in there, you pour your cold coffee over it, you put it to the side. You don't think about it for at least a day. After a day, stir it together, shake it up, whatever you got to do. I like to cold brew my coffee for at least 3 days. You can do it for 24 hours and then it'll be fine. But to me, the longer you do it, the better it is. Sometimes I'll even cold brew it for a whole week. And when I start getting into longer times, I'll put it in the fridge and let it cold brew. But because heat is never introduced, it doesn't get that acidity. And I love that. And the fact that it's a glass carafe for $10. Come on, how do you beat that? You just put your coffee grinds in there, you put your water over it, shake it up, leave it. And then once it's ready, you just take the filter out, toss the coffee grounds. I don't toss them. I throw them in my flower pots. And, good morning, Miss Tia. How are you? Hello, everyone. Getting ready for them. What are you going to go watch? Miss Linda, good morning. I am so glad to see you. You already know. I already told you. But how's mommy doing today? Apparently well, because you're here, and that makes me so happy. I'm so excited to see that. But cold brew coffee, you guys, is thebomb.com. Aldi, $10 carafe. I want to try to go get it today, but I don't know that we'll have time. But I am going to make David take me to Aldi because We are out of fruit. We are out of vegetables. We are out of bread. We're getting out of water because I haven't had a car to go. When he gets home, I'm already working, so I can't leave. And then by the time I get off at midnight, nothing is opened. So I can't go, because I would just go after I get off of work, just to make sure we had whatever we needed. But we haven't had time. And okay, it is what it is. So we're going to go today. We're going to get it. She's having a great morning. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. I didn't know cold brew coffee wasn't bitter. I want to be a coffee girlie so bad, but I never liked that phrase. Miss Felicia B, good morning. You, ma'am, because I was looking for those things for, oh, good morning, Miss Pamela. How are you? I'm having a great morning now because, girl, I don't know what is wrong with me. I was running so far behind this morning. I'm still like in my brain. The wheels are still turning. And I was running late this morning. And we were talking about cold brew coffee. Yes, cold brew coffee, if it is a true cold brew. Okay, if you go to a coffee joint, a lot of them will give you an iced coffee, but it's not a true cold brew. They heat brew it and then pour it over ice. When you do that, the acidity is still there. You might as well just have a hot coffee. But, I mean, if you like hot coffee, but it still has that bitterness. If you do it yourself, or if you get a cold brew, it will not have that bitterness. And if it does have some of that bitterness, throw a little pinch of salt in there and it'll take a lot of that away. It won't take it all away, but it will take a lot of that away. This week is Ballerina, John Wick spinoff. Oh, I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to look it up. Oh, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's a really good movie. That's awesome. Now I want to go shopping at Aldi. I love shopping at Aldi, but the Aldi by my house is so small. Like, we never get anything. I'm always seeing people telling me, oh, I got this at Aldi, and we never have it. I made a cold brew coffee myself. Yes, that's what I was talking about, how right now Aldi has a cold brew carafe. If you want to try coffee or you love coffee, if you've never tried a cold brew, it is amazing. And also, just so you know, if you're not a cold coffee person, make it cold brew. Then after you make it, when you pour your coffee and you want it hot, throw that bad boy in the microwave and it will not have that bitterness. You can heat it after without the beans and you never get that weird acid. I do it all the time. Trust me, I do it all the time because I don't like bitter. I don't like bitter coffee. What makes it bitter is the tannins in the coffee. I don't know if you know much about tannins. I didn't know much about tannins. I only knew that there were tannins in wine. And the only reason I knew that was because of How I Met Your Mother. There was a whole entire episode about how Marshall and Lily were gonna, they wanted to have adult dates. And they found this couple and all they ever did was talk about, the guy was like super duper boring and weird. And all he ever did was talk about coffee. And they had this running joke about tannins. Oh yeah, I heard about tannins. So I did some research looking into tannins. And that is also what can cause headaches and migraines in people. So if you cold brew, you minimize a lot of that. Bitterness. I always thought I hated the taste. It's not the taste of the coffee that I hate. It's the bitterness I hate. I miss Aldi. None in Denver. My son is frugal Freddy. Never had. I nearly had a coronary when he moved out here. I do not blame you. Denver is very expensive. It's just like living in California. Whenever I take David home, he's like, "How do you guys survive?" I was like, "Why do you think I live in Texas now?" Because I couldn't. And it's not that I couldn't survive. I was doing just fine. It's that I wanted to buy a house and I knew that I couldn't buy a house in California. Not the kind of house that I wanted. I would be able to buy maybe a condo, which is great. I would love that. But if I was going to buy a condo, I might as well just keep renting an apartment, right? Because at least in a condo, not having any responsibility as the homeowner. So if something breaks or if something needs replacing, then your landlord will have to do it. But if you are the owner, you have to do it. And if I'm going to have to do it myself, I don't want to have neighbors that close to me. I barely like having neighbors within, a 3-mile radius. I really like having David here. Just kidding. But you know what I mean. So yeah. But you guys, I forgot. I haven't done my skincare today. And I am being forced to try a different one right now because my mother wants me to try it for her, which makes no sense because I told her, Mom, we're all different. Everybody's skin is going to be different. But she was like, yeah, but I know you have the most sensitive skin on the planet. And if you can do it, then I'll be able to do it. And I was like, fine. But if I break out, I'm going to be so mad at you. I haven't broken out yet. It's been great. But my mom also has rosacea like I do. Hers is almost always only triggered by food. And it's spice, like, chile that causes it for her. So she wanted me to try out I told her about it. So she wanted me to try out the Eucerin Radiant Tone. And it's Radiant Tone Daily Lotion 30 Broad Spectrum SPF Sunscreen. But I don't know if you guys noticed, it went on really white. But I don't think it's a mineral. I think it's a chemical. I'm not even sure because the box is not in here. Pretty sure this is a chemical sunscreen and not. It has a really strong smell and I don't like it. And I think the reason why it has a really strong smell is because of the thiamidol that it uses in there. This is brand new to the US. This has been available in Europe and other countries for a long, long time, but it wasn't available here in California. I'm not even in California. In the US, I lost my, what the heck? What did I do with it? I lost my sunscreen lip balm. Or lip gloss or whatever. They're called, these say they're lip balms, but they're very glossy. I was like, I wish they were an actual lip balm because then my brothers would actually use them. And they both fly. They're both flight attendants now. And if you don't know this, please know this. Whenever you get on an airplane, make sure you're wearing your sunscreen, even though you're in an airplane and you're not seeing the sun, because in an airplane, you are getting sun radiation. So please wear your sunscreen when you are in a plane. California cost of living is out of control. No, 100% it is. I don't see how any regular people afford to live there. Yeah. And I used to make, at my very last job, I was only making like $19 an hour. I don't know how I did it either, but I did it. And I did it pretty well too, to be honest with you. But that's probably why I worked nonstop all the time. I worked like 7 days a week. Like 12-hour days, and not intentionally. It's just people are incompetent and they didn't want to do my job. They wanted to do everything that I didn't do. And if I didn't do it, nobody would do it. I don't like the bitter taste of coffee either. I used to add my coffee to my creamer. GLP-1 gas made it taste even more. Oh, I'm so sorry. I would use about a half cup. You know what you should try, Miss Linda? I don't know if you've tried it yet, is just instead of using creamer, just pour in an entire bottle of protein powder, pre-made protein shake, right? It doesn't have to be pre-made, but it will have that creamy flavor and texture of your creamer, but it'll give you extra protein, and it is far better than drinking half a cup of creamer. True to you, a lot of Californians are moving here to Houston area because of the cost of living so much cheaper. Girl, no, they are mistaken because Dallas and Houston are so expensive. I had no idea that this area was going to be just as freaking expensive as being home. The only thing that is cheaper here is the gas. For like everyday living. And now the homes are not nearly as high, but they're pretty darn high. Like my friend moved here a couple miles away from me, and the house that she bought was $700,000 here in Texas. And it's not even a big town. It's a tiny little town. It's called Crawley. It's itty bitty, and $700,000. And the property taxes here are outrageous. We're the 6th highest in the entire nation, where California is like the 52nd highest. So there's only 3 higher than California. But nowhere's like New Jersey. So any of you that live in New Jersey, I don't know how you do it because those property taxes are out of control. Maybe that's why I don't like coffee either anymore. You know, that might be why, but I mean, I'm not telling you to try it. If you want to try it, just try cold brew and see if that works. I was just going to say that the home prices have skyrocketed over the last 5 years. Yes, my house, the house that I own, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage attached. And one thing I couldn't find here in Texas was a lot of attached garages. I'm like, They don't even have, a lot of houses didn't even have garages. And then if you had a garage, it was rarely ever attached. And I'm like, why are there all these houses? Like, what? So on my list of needs when I bought my house was, I wanted at least 3 bedrooms. I wanted at least 2 bathrooms, full bathrooms. I wanted at least a 2-car garage attached. I wanted a pantry, which I got, but it needs insulation or something because it gets really hot in there. And I don't want to put my food in there because it gets too darn hot. I never thought about it. I should take the stuff that's out of there and put my pots and pans in there, and it'll free up room in my kitchen. Yes, that's what I'll do. Oh, you just got your Naked Sunday sunscreen an hour ago. Can't wait to use it. Girl, it is bomb.com. Also, I can't wait to be a protein coffee girly. I promise you, if you try a cold brew, you will taste the difference. I don't believe that the cold brews that they sell in a lot of chain coffee shops, maybe local mom and pop shops, will be a lot better. But the ones like for chains, I don't think they're really true cold brews. I think that they are hot brewing and pouring them over ice and just telling you it's a cold brew because people don't understand the difference. And that's fine. But if I want a cold brew, I'm buying a cold brew for a reason. You know what I mean? So try it. Try your own cold brew. If you do not have the coffee craft and you just want to do it another way, one way that I do it, but it takes a long time. Okay. I throw all of my coffee grounds into a coffee filter, tie up the coffee filter with like that butcher twine that you use if you're going to wrap a turkey legs or chicken legs or whatever. Use one of those, tie it up on top, and then just throw it into my coffee water. And then I will do a much shorter because it tends to break apart really quick. And oftentimes I will have to strain that thing a lot and I'll still end up with a little bit of grounds in there, but that's okay. It's not that bad. You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. And it still makes a very, very good cup of coffee. Yes, I have used protein in my coffee. It's still better. Try cold brew. It will possibly work for you. Because like I said, I've never liked that. I used to love to make bulletproof coffee. Ooh, bulletproof coffee was so good with the butter. It was so delicious. For real. Miss Linda, I really recommend you guys try cold brew and see if that works because David does not like coffee. He thinks he's a coffee liker. He likes gas station coffee, but he never finishes it. And I tell him, you know why? Because you don't like it bitter. Because when I make it, you will drink the whole thing. You don't like it bitter and you like cold brew. You need to get a cold brew. He's like, but I want hot coffee. And so I said, great, heat it up. After you get a cold brew, heat that bad boy up. It still will not have that. You guys, speaking of sunscreens, which I promise you, this is still the love of my life, but I am trying this one out for my mother because this one is made, it has a whole line of radiant tone. It is made to help with the redness because, my mom has rosacea, but she can't afford to see a dermatologist. And, I theoretically have thought about sharing my rosacea medication with my mother. I dreamt about it one time and I packed it up and I sent it with my brother to my mom and I told her how to use it. And so she in my dream had it available to her because it's illegal to do that. And I would never do that. I would never do anything illegal ever. In my dream, I sent her all the rosacea medication plus some of my tretinoin because in the US it is prescription only. And in my dream she loved it and it helped a lot with that. But in the meantime, she wanted to try this line because it is supposed to be really good for red skin tones, plus people who have melasma type issues. If you have any sort of discoloration of the skin with dark spots and stuff that are not freckles, okay, that are not birthmarks, this bad boy is not going to go nowhere. Just is not. But these are supposed to help with that. I don't know because I've never tried their line. I'm only trying this one to see. So far, I have liked it, except I cannot stand the strong scent. The strong scent is disgusting. I hate it. Hate it. It is so strong. But it does dissipate. It is not strong like a medication, like a sunscreen. It's just strong like a perfume. I feel like I'm putting perfume on my face. But as you can tell, it is not triggering my rosacea. at least not yet. So I don't know. But I also, because you guys know we're going on a cruise for my mother's 60th birthday. And I had money on my FSA and I'm spending it because I'm bored and I'm home alone and I have no car. I'm trapped. So I found this, which I thought was really cool. This is the Dermalogica Golden Hour Hydrating SPF 30 stick, UVA and UVB broad spectrum high protection, blah, 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 blah. But this is a keychain that it came with. I can't get it off. So when you get another one, you could just replace it. It's not normally comes with this. Normally I just look like this. But you guys, I tried this yesterday. Oh my goodness gracious. It is amazing. Look at this. Can you see that? It is like, it has a shimmer. Do you see that? Do you see that glitter? Good morning, Miss L. You just missed all the talk about the sunscreen because I was going to send this to you. I was going to send you a video about this. Look at this. Look at this. You see that shimmer? You see that? I don't know if you guys could see it on camera. Do you guys see that glitter? Do you see that? And this is a sunscreen stick and you can just rub it on and hello, look at that. I'm going to send you a video because I sent it to my friend last night and I don't know if you can see that, but you see, I don't think you can see it. This camera doesn't pick up very clear, but this is awesome, you guys. It is not waterproof though. I just got it because I figured my mother doesn't like to put sunscreen on. And if I have it on me, I can make her use it. And I thought, you know, I could just, with the keychain, just attach it to my bag and I'll make her use it and she'll use it. But yeah, I was just talking about the Eucerin Radiant Tone, the new daily lotion SPF that I'm trying out for my mom because she cannot comprehend that we have different skin types, even though we have a lot of the same skin conditions. I am her daughter, but I am not her clone. She doesn't comprehend that. So yeah, but I love that. What's the name of that one again? Dermalogica. This is the Dermalogica Clear Start. Oh, it's by the brand Clear Start, made by Dermalogica. But if you go onto Amazon, hold on. Let me see. I will put you a link right here, Miss Perfectly Pamela. Give me 1 second. It is awesome. I think I sent it to somebody yesterday too. Oh yeah. I sent it to my friend because look, I'm typing in your name into Amazon. What the heebie-jeebies am I thinking? Golden Hour Dermalogica. I had a lot of problems finding it the other day, but I don't know why. Okay, here it is. It is absolutely beautiful, but I barely, for the first time, used it yesterday. And just to try it out, like just to see, because again, you know, I want to make sure my mother is wearing her sunscreen. There it is for you, Miss Perfectly Pamela. I put the link in there. Please make sure to use it. My mom just got diagnosed with another. Oh no, I am so sorry to hear that, Miss L. Oh gosh, my prayers are with her. It's above her lip or on her lip? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. And then my mother lives in California right next to the ocean. So there's a lot of sun. But yes, I absolutely love this. You know, I am not a light-skinned person. I am not a very dark-skinned person, but I am, I'm dark. And this shows up incredible. And I had it like right where I put it on right now. That's where I had put it yesterday because I don't want to put it on top of the Eucerin because I'm trying to test out the Eucerin and I want to make sure that, it's not breaking me out or anything. So if I blend them, I won't know which one is causing that or if it's a combination of mixing them. I'm not sure. So I'm not doing that. But I had it like right here, right? And I had my pajama shirt on and it was rubbing on it. It was rubbing on it like all day, right? And then when I went to wash the pajama shirt, it had some of the little like shimmer flakes on it. And I still had that like shimmer glitter on my neck when I went to wash it off in the night. it wasn't, so it lasted all day long. I didn't do anything. I was just home working, but still having the collar rub on it did not completely remove it. It was awesome. Yes, Miss L, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. The generation I'm not right. Yes, it is really, I mean, my mom is going to be 60, she's 59, and she doesn't understand, that I told her, you know what, you were only getting older. And so I talked to her vanity side, right? And my mom's not person has a vanity side, right? So mother, you are only getting older, you are not getting any younger, and you not wearing sunscreen is only aging you faster. So why aren't you wearing it? She was like, don't tell me that. And I was like, it's true. I mean, you're going to get leather skin because you refuse to use it. You know, the way that smokers get leather skin, they get that because it is from dehydration and the sun exposure and all of that. And it just accelerates it, right, when you're a smoker. So as a non-smoker, you are going to have that leather skin very quickly if you do not begin to do something about it. You may not have been using it for almost 60 years, but guess what? The next couple of years, you could be using it and you will not age as quickly as if you didn't. And so I wish you would do that. Yes, it is a great reminder, but also I highly recommend, I do not recommend I don't know what the, I don't know where it's at, but that Prequel lip visor sunscreen, lip balm, I prefer that one to the Naked Sunscreen, to the Naked Sundays. I do like the Naked Sundays, the idea of it. Plus, it has it is 1.5 times the size of the other one, but it is also a lot more expensive. It's like, I think, double the cost, almost. It's $27 for the Naked Sundays lip balm, whatever, but it's 15 milliliters, and then it's $14 for the lip visor, and that one is $14, but the lip visor is only SPF 30. Thank you, Miss Jen. You got to try this one, but I'm using this today, trying it out for my mom. I really like it, but even before I put it on, I did notice, and I even said it in the very beginning, that my skin is looking a lot better because I'm feeling a lot better. When I was not feeling well last week, my skin, you could tell, it was very, very dull looking. I had no life in my face, right? And my eyes were sunken in. And yes, I do have still sunken in eyes. My eyes are always going to look like that, but they looked hollow, and they were like dark under my eyes, and I don't really have dark under eyes like that, but I did all last week, and now it's finally getting color back. So I know that my inward feelings are finally coming out again. But you guys, please use your sunscreen. Please use your sunscreen. And I do put sunscreen on my lips, but then I also put lip balm over. But I also use, I don't know where it's at. So I think it's in the living room because yesterday we were going to go, what am I talking about yesterday? Yesterday was Friday. Yesterday we were planning today. And so I was planning to get everything prepared without thinking that today was Saturday fully. I don't know what I was thinking, but you guys, this iced coffee. My brain is still so scattered today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think I'm just stressed out. But yeah, this is a delicious combination. If you have not tried iced coffee, you should. Iced brewed coffee, you should, because it's delicious. Well, cold brewed coffee poured over ice once it's done. Yeah, it's delicious. And if you guys, Perfectly Pamela, you're here in Texas. Harji, you're here in Texas. And Jen, you're in Connecticut, right? No. Yes? I think you are. I can't remember. Dang it. I know Elle is, but are you? I think you are too. Boston. Okay, I knew it was somewhere over there. Okay, you're in Boston. Who's the one that's in Connecticut? There's somebody else in Connecticut too, and I can't remember who it was. But What was I talking about? I was going to say HEB. Why was I going to say HEB? What was I talking about? New England. Yes, you're right. You're in New England, but for some reason, I always think you're in Connecticut. That's right. Elle, you already know this is a problem that I suffer from. For some reason, I always think you're in Connecticut. There's something wrong with my brain. Good morning, Miss Dr. Bobby, my favorite PhD. I adore you. Boston. I've been through Boston one time, and I've always wanted to go back. We haven't gone yet. We used to have a nonstop from here in Dallas to over there, and I don't think we have it anymore. And I tried to do it a bunch of times, but man, that flight was always sold out. And I hope it comes back because I really want to go to Boston. Boston has the US's oldest tavern, I think. Pretty sure it's the tavern. And it is the oldest running tavern in the US. What was I talking about, HEB? What the heck was I talking? Oh, coffee. Okay, coffee, the HEB brand, I think it's called the Café Olé, I think. Pretty sure, 100%, no, but I think it's a black bag with the blue label, and it is the pecan flavor, pecan, however you guys say it, whatever. That flavor coffee bean. I get that coffee bean. I grind them myself, but you can already buy them ground, or you can ground it there in the machine. That flavor coffee cold brew, it is fire. I make it all the time. Fire. It is so good. When my mom came to see when I bought the house, she wanted to come and see it. So she came over here, and my mom loves coffee, and she drinks coffee every single day. Her and her husband are addicted to coffee, right? Like literally she cannot start her day unless she has coffee. So I bought that coffee, and she was like, I like Folgers. I was like, I don't care if you like Folgers. I don't buy Folgers. I'm not making it for you. I didn't mean it that way. I would have got her Folgers. I wanted her to try this. And the only way for me to get her to try it was to refuse to buy her Folgers. So I told her, please just try this. And if you don't like it, and I did buy her Folgers. I had it to the side, but I didn't tell her. And I just told her, if you don't like it, I promise you, David will go right now and buy your Folgers, because I was making breakfast. And he was like, yeah, I'll go right now. And he went to go grab the keys, and she was like, I'll try it. So she tried it. She was like, oh my God, I love it. So now she doesn't drink Folgers anymore. And now I have to keep her supplied with that particular flavor. She loves that flavor. She'll try other flavors now too, but she loves that one. And it is so good. I used to get it in the K-Cups. I'll have to try it as cold brew. Yes, buy it. I've done it as K-Cups too, but again, when you hot brew something, it still has that bitter, and I don't like that. But try it as a cold brew. You could even buy it loose, like you know how they have the beans. Just buy a little bit, buy enough so you can make one pot, and you'll try it out yourself and say, hey, do I like it? Do I not like it? I don't know. But this way you'll experiment with it. To me, I find the longer I leave it, shake it up at least once a day. I try to shake it up in the morning and then in the night before I go to bed. And then if you just leave it, it's like for a couple of days, the flavor just intensifies, and it's so good, but it never gets that bitter flavor, that bitter taste. Miss Jen F., I've been curious, what do? You don't have to tell me, but I'm curious because of the way that your schedule is. I want to say you're like a firefighter or an EMT. I have never seen a schedule like that. That wasn't one of those types of jobs. And I'm just curious because I'm nosy. So, Dr. Bobby, your tattoo is so cute. Please promise me you're wearing sunscreen on it every day. Every single day. Because very colored tattoos fade very quickly in the sun. And if you are constantly exposing this part of your body, I forget where it's at, it's here somewhere, to the sun, it will fade very, very quickly, a lot quicker than you want. And you will be sad, because I have feet tattoos that were very brightly colored at one time. I didn't listen to the sunscreen thing, and they are no longer very brightly colored, and I need to get them retouched. But I think I'm allergic to the purple ink, so I haven't done it. And a lot of people tend to be allergic to any red colored ink for tattoos, so I haven't. Yeah, isn't it fire? Now, Miss L, I know you don't like tulips. I know you do not, but I know that your recent experience to tulips at that tulip picking place, you guys, if you guys like vlog styles, like really like just, I don't know how to explain it, but very calm, a very calm vlog, please check out Al's second channel. Al Naturally is her channel if you like sunscreen, not sunscreen, skincare, natural sin. Oh, you're a pharmacist. Pharmacist has those kind of schedules. You work at a hospital, don't you? You're a pharmacist. How cool is that? Yep, I knew it. Okay. Yes, I did forget that I have seen that there are some healthcare schedules like that. I used to have a schedule like that when I was a home health aide in nursing homes. But if you guys like calm vlogs, you will really, really love Al's other channel, which is Day with Al. I have it linked in a post and I will link it again. Al, if you want, go ahead and drop your link in there. If you enjoy that kind of style vlog, please check it out. But she goes to a tulip farm and it is so cool. And she's picking the tulip and it's just so cute. I love it. I love to see it. But Dr. Bobby just got a new tattoo. Look. Oh, I don't know if you can see that well without all of the like reflection. Isn't that just the freaking cutest? I know you don't like them that much, but I know that you got a newfound love for them there. Look at how cute it is. Oh, I love it. It is so freaking cute. It is too cute. Dr. Bobby's tattoo is too cute. I have one coming up next week. Yeah, your posting schedule is every other week, right? I'm pretty sure you post to that channel every other week. But I absolutely love it. Love, 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 love it. Oh, I didn't link. Okay, hold on. But yes, if you guys like that kind of stuff, if you don't like it, don't worry about it. Don't check it out. But if you do like it, if you do like that kind of stuff, go ahead and check it out because it is super, super cute. She is very, very talented. It is very well put together. And you will, I feel, enjoy it. But of course, if you do not like that kind of stuff, don't even bother trying because it's not good for the channel to have a bunch of people pop up and it's not good for never watch stuff. So if you do like that stuff, I'll go ahead and link it. There it is right there. Isn't it just so cute, Felicia? I'm telling you, girl. Okay, so yesterday when I was telling you about I was okay. So I was all up in the mix and I was helping Miss Felicia B find some new skincare. And in doing that, I recommended to her using castor oil as a moisturizer, right? And as I sent it to her, I realized you can buy castor oil. I don't know about all castor oils, but you could buy this castor oil, which is hexene-free, cold-pressed virgin castor oil, and it is like $12, I think. It is not very expensive. It's very cost effective, and it is incredibly good for your skin and your hair. So if you want to use it like as a scalp treatment, you want to put it in because all of us are worried about losing hair. You guys already know I've already had melting breakdowns. Look at this garbage for my hair. Castor oil is very good for it. I have not been using it for a very long time because I haven't remembered. And it wasn't until I started talking about it that I was like, oh yeah. So I realized you could buy it with your FSA, HSA. So I bought some last night. It's already here. So yeah. And the exact same one that I recommended to you, Felicia, because I wouldn't recommend you something that I wouldn't be willing to use on myself. I would recommend you something if I was willing to use it, but because of my skin conditions, you guys know, I'm a sensitive girly in my face, and I have to be not just my face, everywhere. I have to be very careful with the type of stuff that I use, but I would still recommend it to you if I would recommend it to my brothers. If I would tell them, because they have normal people's skin. One of them is very, very light skinned. He looks like, no joke, he looks like a little white kid. When he was a baby, he had really, really light colored brown eyes. I don't know what happened. They got really dark as he's gotten older, but he had really light colored brown eyes. He was very light skinned. He had blonde hair, and the more it would grow out, the browner it would turn, but it was very, very, very light brown. People thought he looked like like a gringo, right? Like he was like a Caucasian kid. So when I would have him and we would be grocery shopping, or my mom would have him, my mom is darker than I am. So when my mom would have him or when I would have him, they would always think that we were babysitting. Well, I was babysitting because he's not mine, but they would think that he wasn't our relation, you know? Oh, you already ordered it? Girl, it came so fast. It was here before I even got up, and I got up at 8 a.m. And David got up, I think, at 7:30, and it was already at the door. It was so fast. But there is an Amazon fulfillment center, like, I don't know, a couple miles away. I never get things that fast, but I did get that one that fast. Normal people's skin that's funny. I mean, it's true because I don't have normal people's skin. But you know, they do. They have normal people's skin. They could use whatever they want. But one of my brothers looks like a little white kid, and my other brother is probably 3 times as dark as I am. So he looks like not a white people kid. And so I do have like a lot of different skin colors in my immediate family. You have eczema. I have eczema too. And so does Miss Linda. We all have eczema, and it's terrible. In fact, for eczema, I found, since we're talking about skincare stuff, before, I don't know if you guys know this, I used to make soaps and lotions and stuff because my little brother was born with a horrible case of eczema. And in those days, 20 years ago, eczema was not well researched. It wasn't well known. It didn't even have like a real like name yet, right? Like I'm sure somewhere it did, but like people didn't know. Like his doctor had no idea. Nobody knew what it was. But I researched and I discovered that he needed to have like specialized skincare, right? And he's an infant. His skin would pus. Like he had horrible eczema. All over his face, his poor little baby face would have like, you know, the golden seepage. He had that. It was absolutely terrible. And it broke my heart seeing him like that. So I decided that, okay, well, if nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I went and I started to learn how to make all of these things for him. And one thing about eczema is you have to be very careful not to have certain things in it. But this eczema honey, okay, because I no longer make it because I'm lazy, but this right here, eczema, and you FSA, HSA eligible. It is not cheap. It's $30 for 4 ounces. Right now, you can get it on Subscribe and Save for $26.95, but it is eczema, the Eczema Association approved. It's accepted. That's the word. See, it has it right there for eczema. But it's thebomb.com, you guys. It is so good. And I'll go ahead and link it for you guys right here. Just to make it easier. Oh, shut up. And it's so amazing. And I'm glad you have not had any flare-ups. I have been having some issues. Usually when the weather changes, I get it really bad. It is nowhere near as bad. I just noticed that you said the next vlog is a really good one. No, I mean it when I tell you that your vlogs are just so well done. They're so beautifully done. I love it. Love to watch it. Not just because you're my friend. You are my friend who I love to support, but you also make really well crafted videos, and they're, I mean, way better than a lot of videos that I've seen, and they're very, very good. And I really, really like them. And otherwise I wouldn't talk about them. I haven't had, oddly, no summer flare-ups in the year I have been on Zepbound. Wonder if it's another hidden benefit. Yes, they did tell me that because eczema is an inflammation disorder, it could be beneficial when using Mounjaro to help with that. I will tell you that I have been having a couple of flare-ups, but nowhere near as bad as I once have. So, and I only get it on my arms during summer heat. I get it on my arms and my legs the worst. But if I use certain products on my face, it'll instant trigger. I used to think I was allergic to the sun. It feels like that, to be honest with you. It really does. It's the Water Fire Festival in Providence. That sounds like a sacrificial type of festival. Nobody's being sacrificed anymore, are they? But thank you, because you are one of 3 people. Shut up. You have 20 subscribers. I do. I watch religiously because I really, 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 really believe that you make really well-crafted vlogs. They are very well done. And I don't see a lot of vlogs these days that are very well done, and yours is. What I see in vlogs is a lot of screaming, and I hate that. I'm constantly... David watches a lot of family vlog channels. I think he has a really hard time also dealing with the fact that we can't have kids. And so he watches a lot of family vlog channels because he likes to see the little kids having fun. And it like, I think it helps him to know that that's just not in the cards for us. But all they do is scream, and I hate it. I hate it. The loud, sudden screaming drives me nuts. Oh, even just thinking about it, like, oh. Yeah, and you don't do any of that. You're not loud. You're not obnoxious, and oh, I love it. And yes, of course, there's going to be occasional sounds and stuff, and that's fine. And it's one thing to have occasional yelling that was not intentional, like they just are constantly screaming, and I hate it. Thanks, y'all. I'm glad you like my tattoo. I'm in love with it. Yes, I do. I love your tattoo. It is so cute. So cute. You guys really, really picked a really good artist because it's amazing. But Elle is a lot like me. She does not like, she doesn't like all the screaming and the crying. And I don't know if it's, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if the screaming and crying of children drives me insane now. Like really, really, really can send me into like full-on panic attacks. If it's because of the fact that I've never been able to have my own children and I wanted them so bad. And I was like hurting hearing other people's kids because I couldn't have my own. I'm not sure. This is something that I'm just thinking about right now. But it really hurts my heart. And it has turned to anger now when I hear it. And I don't want that because, like, other people are blessed with children, and I'm so happy for them. That doesn't take that away from me, but to hear kids screaming and crying really, really, really hurts. And it gives me a physical pain that has turned to anger, and I hate it, and I don't want it to be like that. But I'm grateful that you do your best not to include stuff like that. Or these other channels do it intentionally, and it's so annoying. I am extremely careful with my skin. I haven't had an eczema flare-up in years. Oh, I love it. I'm so happy for you, Miss Linda, because they are terrible. Yes, the oozing. Oh, and I would get it on my face. When I first started getting the hormonal acne, I thought it was eczema. I didn't know that it wasn't eczema. I didn't know that it was hormonal acne. I also didn't know that rosacea gives you breakouts too. So to this day, I really don't know. I mean, I know that the nodules and the cysts, my computer's gonna die. I know that is the hormonal, but the little ones, the little pustule ones, I don't know if those are eczema or if they are rosacea pustules. But I used to think it was just eczema, and I didn't know any better until I got diagnosed when I was like 30 something with rosacea. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I don't know, but yes, I used to scratch until I would bleed too on the back of my head. On the back of my head, I would always have crusting and from the constant itching. And I haven't had that bad. I mean, I have had, you guys know, I have had issues with my neck recently, but that has gone away, and I hope it stays away. It does like light itching sometimes, and I try so hard not to scratch. But the red, I don't know if you guys remember how red and like raw it was, and that's gone. So I'm glad, and I hope it stays away. But yeah, so if you guys like stuff like that, you'll love that. But that eczema honey, I use it as a preventative measure because I get what's called stress-induced eczema on my fingers and on my toes, where I don't know if any of you guys suffer from that, but it's like these little blisters. They're tiny little blisters, like on your toes, in between your fingers, in between your fingers, in between your toes, like on your toes, on the bottom, like just they're awful. They're terrible. And they itch so bad. And even if you pop them and drain all of the fluid from them, they will come right back. Immediately, like within an hour, they just come right back. It's so insane. I hate it. And I have that version too. I don't know if I can see it, but so I will use the eczema in a long time because it's really expensive. But I have now that I realize that it is FSA eligible, I bought some last night and I will use it on my feet before I go to bed and put my socks on, because I have noticed that I have been getting really, 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 really dry feet lately. And this, let me see, eczema on toes and fingers. But these ones are not showing like I don't know. I mean, you guys don't want to see that crap, but okay, so here's a good example. I don't know how to show you guys this picture without showing you guys all of this gross stuff, and I don't want to show you all the gross stuff. Okay, here, let me see. Let me cut it down. Okay. This. So, I mean, this is a very bad case, but they look like that. It almost looks like like a form of like chickenpox or something. It's really weird. It's terrible. I hate it. Miss Felicia B, if you get them too, please, 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 please do not use perfumed or alcohol-based lotions. I know it's so fun to use like really nice scented lotions and stuff, but stop using them on your hands at the very least, and your feet if you get them there, because my dermatologist has told me, a few dermatologists have told me that if you get them on one, you 9 times out of 10 get them on both. I get them on both, but to prevent them, and when you get them, do not use stuff like that on them, because it'll only irritate them more. And it's freaking terrible. It is so terrible. I hate it. They itch so bad and they hurt. And it's like, but I haven't had a flare up in a while like that. So I'm grateful. And I hope that you can find a routine that works for you that doesn't cause that too. So wait, so you do have eczema? You didn't tell me that yesterday when you were saying that you had dry skin. That might change some of the, no, I think the recommendations that I gave you will still work. Yeah, because castor oil doesn't have any irritating products for eczema. Yeah, it should still be fine. Mine is caused by, dude, I'm allergic to latex too. So yours isn't eczema then? Yours is an allergic reaction? Because an allergic reaction is different. Good morning, Mr. G's. How are you? What is your name, sir? I like to be called people by their name. You don't have to tell me your name, but if you want me to call you G's, I will absolutely do that. But I like to know people's name just because I'm a nosy person. So Miss Jen, Greg. Hi, Greg. Nice to meet you, Greg. I mean, I've met you many times. I'm still waiting for a long video. When are you going to do a long video? And not a vertical long video, a horizontal long video. Waiting for one of those. Because they don't show well on television, and that's where I watch a lot of my YouTube. But yeah. So you guys, we are going. Oh, I had to start another round of steroids. I had been getting my tonsils are getting swollen. Very, very. Really? I haven't seen any. I've been looking for them. My dermatologist says that it's hand eczema. It's hand eczema, but it's only caused by latex and nickel. How is that possible? I'm not saying it's not possible. I have no idea, but I didn't know that that was even possible. I will go and look. I will definitely go and look because honestly, I don't know. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was so sick last week that I don't even remember last week. So the last couple of weeks, I really went back to work and I don't remember what's going on. I barely remember some of the times, literally what I've said the just a minute ago. Like I lose my train of thought a lot. Like since having that experience with the anemia, like my iron levels dropping so low, one of the side effects of that, or one of the symptoms of that, is having extreme brain fog and the inability to concentrate and the inability to like recall things. So like your memory functions don't work that well. So ever since that happened, like I literally would sometimes forget what I'm saying, like in the middle of my word. And ever since that happened, I've gotten so much better, but it hasn't completely gone away. So I am still I'm sorry, but I will definitely go check it out. Because if you guys don't know, G's 101 also is a creator. I have said this to him in the past. I do not watch shorts. I don't like to watch shorts because they, not all shorts do this to me, but when you start watching one short, they all start coming, right? And I cannot deal with the ones that are very fast paced, the ones that have a lot of like flashing things on the screen, like the constant changing and the constant like sounds and the constant noise and the constant, I can't deal with it. It triggers something in me and my ADHD and my anxiety gets really bad. So I do not watch shorts. And his channel was only shorts for a very long time. But now he's making longs and I appreciate that. And we will check it out. That's right, Delilah. Perfume and alcohol products definitely irritate. Yes, they do. They very, very much do. I only use Philosophy products for the last 25 plus years. No irritating ingredients for my skin. That's awesome. I used to use Philosophy. And then they changed a lot of the products, especially I used to use, oh crap. I forgot what it's called. Something Grace. It was like one of their scented lines, the Grace something. Loved it. My mom and I loved it. Suddenly something changed in it and it didn't, my skin didn't like it anymore. And I would get really irritated from it and I stopped using it. But maybe I'll try going back to it because it's a really, 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 well, it used to at least be a very great line. It used to be really, really good, but it's expensive. My connection keeps dropping. Sorry. Oh, no worries, Al. I know that you are driving. Don't worry about it. I appreciate the fact that you were willing to come in and say hello and be here to listen, even if you can't participate the way that you would like to. I appreciate it. Being in the healthcare field consistently. What do you do, Miss Felicia? One thing about me, you guys need to know, I am a nosy biatch. Okay. I'm nosy. Not to like simply be nosy, but I like to learn about you guys. I like to know things about you guys. And I like to find things that we might have in common. And I worked in the healthcare field for very, very very long time too. For those of you that don't know, I used to be a medical assistant for a medically supervised weight loss clinic for a lot of years. And I absolutely loved it. But latex gloves and like it pissed them off to no end because when I first started working there, I did tell them, I am allergic to latex. I cannot use latex. So they had to change everybody's gloves because they didn't keep us dedicated to one room. And I did tell them I can stay in one room or one side of the hall. And I can even just keep taking them like my own. I'll just grab a handful of or a box of gloves, keep them with me, and I will take them with me to the room. They said they couldn't do that. They had to switch all of the gloves from latex to nitrile, and they were all pissed off because nitrile's more expensive. But they had to. They had no choice. And then the I'm drawing a blank on what the word is, but what are the ties called when you draw blood? I forgot what they're called right now. I cannot think of the word, but the latex ties that they tie around your arm to draw your blood. I can't remember what they're called. Whatever those things are, they had to switch those out too. I don't think a lot of them are made with latex anymore though. But other ingredients outside of latex, they're not as stretchy, and so they're kind of hard to work with. So a lot of people didn't like it, but it is what it is. Yes, and then the harsh soaps and the constant washing your hands constantly. One thing that I did start doing that would help was when I would get home every single night without fail, I would put on a really thick cream, whatever one my skin liked, right? So I would put on that really thick cream, and then I would put Aquaphor on over it, and then I would put on my nitrile gloves, and I would sleep like that. And it was so irritating. I hated it because your hands will get hot and sweaty, but it would like alleviate a lot of like the cuts and the bleeds and like all of that stuff that it would be caused by the constant hand washing and the constant use of gloves and changing and all that. But that really, really helped a lot. And maybe that'll help you too. I shoot in 4K from my iPhone, so maybe the TV is not compatible. Oh, my TV is compatible. It's what is it, an 8K? I was like, they make 8K? Why? Why do they make 8K? I used to do everything in 4K too here on YouTube, but then I realized that most people don't even watch in 4K, and it would take so long to export my videos because of the quality. Like the higher the quality, the longer it takes. So I just moved down to 2K, and now it's like half the time, and works just fine for me. Skincare is overwhelming for me. It's overwhelming for me too, Miss Sandra, but I figure I'm spending all this time and all this energy doing this for my health. You guys know that this isn't just about losing weight for me. This is about fixing my health overall, my mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, right? Like it's all of these things. And for me, part of that, there's a lot of there's a lot of confidence issues that comes when your skin is horrible, right? And I don't mean your skin is horrible. I'm talking about mine. Mine was, I would get the hormonal outbreak, so I constantly look like a prepubescent teen, or I guess a newly pubescent teen. And I'm in my 40s, and I constantly had like these ridiculous outbreaks or breakouts, and they looked horrible, and they really messed with my self-confidence, and they really made me want to just dig a hole and live in there and never see anybody ever again, because it was so embarrassing. And it's really stigmatized, and it really I don't know. So I decided that if I'm going to work on one thing, I'm going to work on everything, or I'm going to work on nothing, right? Because what's the point? Yes, I have been doing everything little by little, but that was my goal. I was going to do everything. And as soon as I got the opportunity, I began seeing a dermatologist. I already knew because I had just been diagnosed when I moved here to Texas with the rosacea and with the hormonal breakup. I knew those things. Was how to care for them properly. So I decided I was going to learn. I used to simply just wash my face, put on some moisturizer, on occasion put some sunscreen on, and go on with my life. Didn't do anything. I didn't do any research into the stuff that I was using. I didn't know if it was working for my skin. The only thing that I knew was either it was causing irritation, so I would stop using it, switch to a new one, or it wasn't, and I would buy whatever. Didn't matter. Didn't care. But now it matters to me because I want to care for my skin. I want to care for my hair. I want to care for my body. I want to care for my soul. I want to care for my health. I want to care. And because of that, I am learning about these things, and I am taking the time to use and tell myself, Delilah, yes, this is a lot of change. Yes, this is a lot of stuff to learn. Yes, this is, requires energy that I don't want to use for this. But Delilah, this is an act of self-love. You deserve it. If this was anybody else, you would have dove headfirst and figured out how to fix it for them. And you're not doing it for yourself. Why? So if you're not willing to do it for you, why are you willing to do it for others? Because I felt others were worthy of that. I felt others were valuable, and I wanted to help them, but I didn't care to help myself. And I want to help myself now. So you do not need to have like this overwhelming routine. I know I joke around saying it's a 25-step skincare program, right? But it's really not. It's really cleanse is the first step, right? The second step is treat, and if you don't have anything to treat, great, you can skip that. Then from there, it is moisturize. And if it's in the morning, sunscreen. And if it's not the morning, I will take that time to use something to lay over the moisturizer or skip it altogether. So it's really a 3-step, right? And then on occasion, well, every morning it's a 4-step, but every night it's a 3-step for sure, and sometimes a 4-step. And oftentimes what I will do is just lay something over the moisturizer just to sort of lock that in, and I'll sleep like that with a layer of pure petroleum jelly, or petroleum jelly with a layer of zinc oxide over top, or skip the Vaseline and just put the zinc oxide on top, right? Because zinc oxide is so incredibly good for your skin. And when you put it on overnight, you're allowing your skin to sort of drink it in. And if you put it on in the daytime, you look ridiculous because it is incredibly white. It is very, very white. But when you put it on and sleep with it, it helps a lot. So I just try to remind myself that this is something that I am worthy of and I deserve it. When my brother was diagnosed with eczema, even at that time we didn't have a name for it, I dove headfirst into learning what I could do to help this poor innocent little baby who couldn't do anything for himself. And I learned to make soap. I learned to make lotions. I learned to make him diaper rash ointment. I learned to do all of these things from scratch just for him. Why wasn't I willing to do? I mean, yes, he was an innocent infant child. Of course, he deserves to have somebody do something like that for him. But I would have done that for anyone. If that would have been my mother, I would have done it. If it would have been my brothers, I would have done it. If it would have been a good friend, I would have done it. Why wasn't I willing to do that for myself? So I am willing to do that for myself now, even though it's overwhelming, even though it takes a lot of the energy that I didn't have for a very long time. I do have that energy now. So I'm going to use it on myself. And I highly recommend, Miss Sandra, that you also learn what works for your skin, learn what is going on with your skin, and then you can do it too. It doesn't have to be like an overwhelming thing. Just take a little bit at a time. Take a little bit at a time. All you need is a good cleanser, and it doesn't have to be expensive when I say good. Just a good quality cleanser that is not filled with all of the perfumes and alcohols, okay? Then from there, you really just, if you have needs that need to be treated, okay? And then if you don't, just throw on a good quality moisturizer. Also, again, try to avoid fragrances and alcohols. And then a sunscreen. And then you're good to go. And then at night, just skip the sunscreen. Use the same thing at night. You're done. You're good. You're done. Nickel and plates will definitely cause my eczema to break out. My dentist doesn't use latex on me. It will cause burning around my mouth and small bumps. Nickel plated jewelry breaks me out. Yes, me too. I even whenever I wear like these, I wish that they sold like piercing grade. Maybe they do. Maybe I should go to a piercing shop, because you guys hardly ever see me in earrings, because I have 6 piercings down here on each side, and then I have 1 up here on each side. I can't wear jewelry anymore. Like I can't wear just regular earrings anymore, because my ears will get red and swollen and inflamed and itch so bad, and they hurt so bad. Even when I wear pure gold, and I can't use it. But these titanium ones, I can use these, and there's no problem. So I'm gonna have to do that and go and see, like this one, like if I can get something with this quality metal in here, like I don't even know if you could see some of them, but if I could do that, it would be great. Yeah, my dentist when I had to get a root canal done, they had to use one of those nitrile like mouth guards. Oh my God, it was so hard. They were like, this thing does not stretch at all. It was so hard for them and it was so hard for me, but they had to, because I will also get those same things. Plus, then my throat will start closing up because they're using it in my mouth. Terrible. I don't love shorts either. Depends as the creator. That's why I don't make them. That's exactly why I don't make them either. I used to make them because I believe that was the only way that my channel would grow. But I also learned, yes, I was getting subscribers, but I wasn't getting any views outside of the shorts. So I stopped making them altogether. And I only make them on rare occasion. Usually when somebody's asking me a question, like somebody had asked me about, me being newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I couldn't figure things out, right? So like using my finger sticks every day, you end up with like all of these needles, well, the little lancets and all of the little caps and all of the little, whatever those little sticks are, I don't remember what they're called. The little sticks where you put your blood into your machine and that thing. And you'd end up with all of this like stuff. And to take it all the way over here to my sharps container. And eventually I was just like, there's gotta be another way. So I ended up with a prescription bottle that was empty. And I said, hey, this is the perfect size. It's tiny. It'll fit on my counter. I just put it on my counter. And every day I empty in my lancets in there. And if I have a particularly bloody strip, I will throw that in there. And when it's full, I'll just come over here, empty it into my sharps container, and then go put it back, And I decided to make a short about that because somebody was asking me about it. But somebody asked me about how to do an injection. So I did a short on that. But I don't like them, so I don't make them. My son told me I should make some since my last video was so popular, maybe some exercise ones. Okay, my thought process on them is they do not do any good for your long form videos. So if you care about that, I would not do them. If you want to do them, do a separate channel. Oh, you're a CNA. Oh, how exciting. A tourniquet. Yes. That's what they're called. Yes. Tourniquets. They had to buy all kinds of different stuff and they hated it. I made shorts by taking excerpts of my long videos, Repurpose Baby. I used to do that too. But then again, I noticed that I was getting all kinds of subscribers and I was getting thousands of views on my shorts, and my videos, they were still in the like 20s views, and they were not doing any good for my channel. So I just stopped, and they don't do any good for my mental health. So I stopped. To my heart, my heart is sending you love for your and David's journey through not having children. Thank you, Dr. Bobby. It's been very hard. You weren't around during my time last year when I found out I had to get a hysterectomy. That was so hard on me, and I don't think it's addressed enough for people who have to go through hysterectomies to literally save their lives. And then they have to give up their dreams of having children. I don't think it's addressed enough, and it should be. The doctors don't talk about it. You don't feel safe to talk about it. Like it's a really, really mentally hard. And I still have days where it's just like, my hysterectomy was only 5 months ago. So 6 months. Oh, we're in June. 6 months ago now. Oh my God, you guys! I'm like 12 days away from Christmas now, from my 1-year anniversary. And now I'm on steroids, so I'm probably going to be even further away from my 100-pound goal. Oh well. I wear Amazing Grace. That's what it was called. Yes, Amazing Grace. I wear Amazing Grace, also vanilla fig fragrances. Ooh, vanilla fig sounds delicious. From Philosophy. I use Purity to clean my face, and I've been using it for over 25 years. No irritation. I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad that works for you. You can get good skin regimen at the drugstore as well. I have recently simplified my skincare routine because it was becoming too much. Yes, you do not need a bunch of stuff. Like I, in particular, have a bunch of stuff, again, because it is more cost effective for me to get my my rosacea triple cream prescription in separate bottles. So instead of having one compounded night cream. So like they would compound it with the moisturizer, and then it would be the metronidazole gel, the azelaic acid, and the evermycin cream. They would combine all of that, and that would stop me from having to do all three separately. But it is more cost effective for me to get them individually, because it was $45 to $55 a month for a compounded version, where I paid $30 and I don't have to buy it every month, because I got them in March. We're already in June, and I still have like 3/4 of the bottle left of all of them except the azelaic acid, because I use that one more often. And the other two, I haven't had to get a refill yet. So it's just more cost effective for me to do it that way, although it does add extra time for me to open all the bottles, mix them all together. But I don't mind. I really don't. It only takes me like 5 minutes to do my skin routine at night, and I'm fine with that. Works for me. But yes, you could get very quality products from the drugstore that do not break the bank. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Just figure out what kind of skin you have and what your skin needs, and you will do just fine. I used to wear long sleeves all the time, no matter how hot it was. My arms and legs were awful with eczema. I was always having eczema flare-ups by long sleeves. Yes, that's what would happen to me too. Like they would stick to me because of all of the pus thing. Ugh, I hated it. So I would wear long sleeves and I would wear long pants, but I didn't live anywhere hot. So now that I live somewhere hot, I don't know how you guys do it. I would die. Oh, thank you, Miss Linda. I appreciate that so much. That's why I love Philosophy one-step facial cleanser, easy peasy. Yep. You could even find stuff that like this, okay? And I'm not saying you need this one because this one is expensive. But if you have a skincare need that can be addressed with a drugstore product and it combines steps, why not? This is a daily lotion, okay, with the SPF already in it. So you could make this one step. So like instead of having 4 steps in the morning, you would only have 3, because this would take care of your moisturizer and your sunscreen. Easy, right? And this would also take care of some of your treatments, because if you had, like the melasma, or if you had the redness, this would help with, they say, I don't know. Again, I'm barely testing this out. I haven't done a whole lot of research into the rest of their line, and I haven't tried any of them except for this one, only because my mother begged me to, and she bought it. She said, I will buy it for you. You try it out for me. Let me know. If it works for you, then I will try it. And I was like, but Mom, I like the one that I use. And she's like, I already sent it. I said, all right, I'll do it. But I'm not your clone, right? She's like, yeah, but if it'll work for you, it'll work for me, because my skin is less sensitive than yours. So I said, okay. So she wanted to do, so that's what she bought it. But you guys know I love my naked Sundays. I keep wanting to call it naked sunscreen. The naked Sundays, I love that one. But you really could just do a really, really easy routine and be done with it. But do not skip your sunscreen. Please do not. Look at what Miss L just told us this morning. Her mother just found was just diagnosed with another form of cancer on her lip and above from lack of using sunscreen. So please, please, please learn from our histories, our family's histories. The mistakes that they've made doesn't have to be the mistakes that you make. Just wear your sunscreen, please. And I know that it's not always easy to find like sunscreens that don't irritate you. And for people with burning eczema and sensitive skin, it's very, very hard, because a lot of sunscreens will burn your face. But I will tell you that as of right now, this Cabana Clear in the Naked Sundays, Naked Sundays, has not once burnt my skin. Nope. I have no stinging, no irritation, no nothing, and it does not smell like sunscreen. So far, this is only my second time using it. The Eucerin Radiant Tone does not burn my skin, no irritation. But I hate the smell. It's too strong. It doesn't smell bad. It's just strong. But I have it on right now and I don't smell it anymore. And it's not irritating anymore. So, but this one, the Golden Hour, the cool glowing glitter stick, this one also doesn't irritate my skin so far. This is only the second time I've used it though. But I'm not combining them because I want to make sure, and I don't know if you guys can see that. You see that glow? Look at that glow. That's awesome, right? Try it. And then I don't know if you guys can see the little glitter specks because I put it on my hand just to show you. Look at that. It's so cute. I don't know how many men would like that, but us women, this is fun. This is a fun thing. You know, does Philosophy make sunscreen, Ms. Linda? I wonder. Sunscreen is probably going to be your most expensive spend if you go pure drugstore, but you don't have to spend a whole lot. It might be your most expensive though if you have. Eucerin used to be prescribed back when I was going to the dermatologist. It was not over the counter. Really, I know that Eucerin. Eucerin has a lot of eczema approved from the eczema. What's it called? The Eczema Institute, the Eczema Society, the Eczema Association. I forget what it's called. The eczema something. They have almost all of their products are eczema approved. This particular one doesn't have it on the bottle, so I don't think it is. But so far, it's approved by this eczema having face. But again, it is going to take some time to use it. I'll go through the entire bottle before I tell my mother yes or no. And then she's going to have to experience whether or not it works for her. But if she's willing to try it, I'm willing to try it out for her. And so far, it has not been irritating to me. I did try Biore UV Aqua. It's a sunscreen moisturizer. I hated it. I do not recommend it. I hate it. It did not do anything for me. But it also didn't irritate me. So if you like it, it would work for you. And I dropped coffee on my desk. I don't have anything to clean it up with. But did I tell you guys? I don't think I did. I had this entire cup filled with my everything, right? Like I was so excited to come in here, start my job with my coffee. Luckily that day I used no milk. And I don't know how I did it, but I dropped it. And it didn't have the lid on yet. And it flew. It's still even stuck on parts of my wall that I can't reach. And David's going to have to do it today because I couldn't reach to do it. And I had to run over here to get to work because I had like 3 minutes to clock in. And I cleaned it up as best as I could. But it was a hot mess all over my living room, the floor, the couch, me, all. Luckily, I had a pair of pants. I don't know what they were doing there. There was a pair of pants on the floor and it landed and that soaked up most of it. But let me tell you, I was so mad. And I was so sad because it was my coffee that I made for the day and it was gone. But I was so mad I didn't make another one. I was like, oh man, it was terrible. So yeah, what can you do? I was going to look for, yeah. This is what I was going to show you guys. For those of you who we have talked many times, I have been talking about doing a book club for a very long time. Just haven't done it because I'm me. But you guys, if you guys have not read this book, We Should All Be Millionaires. Greg, you can read it too. But it mostly focuses on helping women, but you can read it too, because I'm sure the same things work for you, but you're probably not going to connect with it as closely as women will, but still, you're married, right? Have your wife read it. So, We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. You guys, I have a community post about it. So if you guys want to participate in our book club, please feel free to do so. We will let me know when you guys want to start it. Otherwise, we will start it in July just to give people time. Just remember, first, you do not have to buy the book. You can. You do not have to. You can get it from the library. You can get it in your library app like I did. I also got the audio version on Spotify because I have a free trial to Spotify right now. Spotify Premium, and you can get audiobooks. So she has 2 books that I know of. I think 2 books. So this one is the first one. The next one is a follow-up. about it. But I really, really think that it's a good read. And one of the things that she is going over right now is like the way that you talk to yourself and the things. Oh, I can't remember. Dr. Bobby, you'll know. What are those things, like the way that you talk about things? Oh, crap. The way that you talk about things like cause you to follow through or not. I can't remember what it's called. Self-talk. I don't know, something like that. What is it called? Oh gosh. So like she even has like this PDF, right? Like, so these are like these are the negative thoughts, these are the positive ones, right? So the category of the negative ones is called the broke ass thought, and the category for the positive thought is called the $1 million thought. So let me just read to you a couple of them. So this one, I'll never get out of debt. And that's the broke ass thought. So the $1 million thought is, I am capable of changing my situation. And it's true, you are capable. I am capable. I've done it. I've been debt free. I'm not right now because of the medical things that have happened over the last year, but I can do it again. I've done it before and I will do it again. And I don't include my house in that, but I have been debt free. I will be debt free, and I will be house mortgage free. Another one's, I'll always be broke. To the new one is the past has passed. The future is rich. My future can be different from my past. Oh, here's another one. And this one like touched me in my little grubby heart. Money changes people. I used to really believe that rich people are out of touch with reality, blah, 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 but it's not true. It's just the people I knew, right? So the $1 million thought is, yeah, money absolutely changes your life. Now you have a house, a car, all your needs met without ever having to worry about your bills. Holla. So I think this is a really cool idea to have as our first book club book. So you do not have to purchase the book if you do not want to, because you do not need to spend the money. You also don't even have to read the book if you don't want to, at least in the beginning. I will give you guys some bullet points and stuff. We'll go over it. I don't know if you guys want to do them live or if you want me to record a video. However you guys want to do it, we will do that. And it will be a lot of fun. Also, my amiga Nydia has suggested that we do a Zoom call. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that so that we can interact with each other, talking. Ooh, Miss Tia, have a great day. Enjoy your movie. I want to hear all about it. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Where did I leave off? Philosophy had what? Philosophy Hands Ultimate Miracle Worker SPF 30 and Hope in a Jar Skin Moisturizer SPF 30. I use the Hope in a Jar and also Black Girls SPF 50. Yes, your SPF should always be at least 30. Please do not rely on tinted moisturizers to be your only skincare routine for sunscreen, because the amount that you need, you are not using. You still, if you're using a tinted sunscreen, you need to be using the same amount as if you were using your sunscreen. So it should be 2 finger lengths. Okay. It doesn't have to be that thick, just that long. Okay. Most people are not putting that much tinted sunscreen or tinted blush or, tinted makeup on, that powder stuff. You're not using enough. So, and it's nothing that you're doing. It's just that the way that the product is created. So please, please, please make sure that you are using something that is giving you the protection that you need. Otherwise, it's for naught. Okay. So use a base, like the way that I tell you guys all the time, that the facial mist, the hydrating glow mist, top spray SPF 50 with the hyaluronic acid, cockadoo plum, and the watermelon. This one smells amazing. I absolutely love it. But this is not meant to be your base sunscreen. This is meant to be, or whatever is meant to be your base sunscreen. This is the base. This is a topper. This is to be used as a bonus. You do not need it, but it is fun to have. It is great to reapply, and it is SPF 50. but you're not using enough if all you're doing is using a spray. It's not giving you enough coverage. So please make sure you're using the correct moisture or the correct SPF for your face and enough. And I know that sunscreens can be very expensive, but they are very worth it. They are very, very worth it because so many people forego it. And skin cancer is a preventable cancer. The same way that HPV-induced cervical cancer is preventable by getting screenings and getting your STD panels done. It's preventable. You don't ever have to get to that place if you are doing your due diligence in your own skin or in your own health. So please make sure you are getting your exams done for these things, but also make sure that you are doing what you can to prevent it. Use sunscreen. Use a sunscreen that is appropriate for your skin and use the right amount. Because if you're not using the right amount, there's no point. And I know that it's hard when there's not an abundant amount of money to purchase these things, but you can find it in an affordable way. Trader Joe's, if you have a Trader Joe's, makes a really, really good one. It's SPF 50 and it's only $10. And it is really, really, really well done. It is a dupe. I mean, I don't think it's really a fair comparison to call it a dupe, but okay. They say that it's a dupe for Supergoop, one of the Supergoops. I don't prefer to look at it that way, but come on. Why are you acting like this? I'm trying to find it so I can show you guys. Let's see. Trader Joe's sunscreen. Okay. And it's only $10, you guys. Like, yes, I know to say only $10 could be the matter of feeding your family sometimes. I get it. I really, really do. But you should look for something. Oh, it's SPF 40. So they have this one, the daily sunscreen, SPF 40. This one is $8.99. Also, anything that is SPF 30 and above, if you have an FSA or an HSA, it is a qualified purchase. Trader Joe's doesn't take FSAs, HSAs at the registers. They might take HSAs that are unrestricted, but they don't take FSAs. But you can pay for it. And I always pay for it separately so that I have a separate receipt. And so there's no confusion when I submit it back to my my FSA account for reimbursement. And so I will submit that receipt and they will reimburse me because it is a covered expense because it has to be SPF 30 or above. They also have, I haven't tried these two. I have tried this one, but they're $13. But they do have it. So they're both, one of them is a daily facial mineral sunscreen, SPF 40. And then, oh, this one's new. I've never seen it. Invisible gel body sunscreen for SPF 40. And, ooh, that one's 5 fluid ounces for $12.99. That's a good price. So, yep, it is a, limited time. So that means it's only out right now. It means once they load it once, they will not get it again. This is fragrance-free, oil-free, oxybenzone-free, and this says doesn't have a greasy residue and no white cast. Of course, it doesn't have any white cast because it is a chemical sunscreen and not a mineral sunscreen. Mineral sunscreens are the only ones that have a white cast. Any chemical sunscreen shouldn't have a white cast, and that's why a lot of people choose them. But it doesn't have to be expensive, you guys. It just has to be the right one for you. That's it. It just has to be the right one for you. And you just have to use enough. So you can find something that isn't so overwhelming for you. If you guys want help finding something, I'm not an expert. I am not a dermatologist, but I am happy to help you find stuff from the things that I've tried on myself. Again, everybody's different. And just because I have had good experiences with it and I wasn't broken out by it and I wasn't stung by it and I wasn't irritated by it, you might be. However, I can at least tell you that I've tried it. It was a good product for me and I would repurchase it. I did have to change a lot of my skincare stuff because of my eczema and rosacea. And, you know, I don't really deal with a lot of eczema on my face anymore. I used to, but it really has made a world of difference. And I do use some expensive stuff. I mean, not like crazy expensive, but to me expensive. But it lasts a really, really long time. So what I do is I take the price and then I break it up into the amount of months that it's lasted, and then go from there. And then this way in my head, I tell myself this is how much I used or how much I spent for the month. And then I really, really like it. And you guys already all know how much I love Dr. Jart's Cicapair. The only reason I haven't been using it is I'm saving it because they're travel size. So I want to use them when I travel because I can't take the other ones with me on an airplane, but I can take these with me on an airplane as in my carry-on. Because I work for an airline, I try not to check bags unless I'm coming home, unless it's on my way home, because even if I miss that flight, my bags will end up here and I have to come home. But everywhere else, if I'm trying to go somewhere and I miss those flights and I can't get on those flights, then what happens is I am not able to go to that place and retrieve my bags because they will get there with or without me. And so on my way home, every time I go home to my mom's house and I come back, I always check bags coming back. And because my bags will be here waiting for me when I get home. So, oh shoot. But for those of you who have small children, I am constantly, not super, super small, obviously, but when they, grow, I'm constantly trying to pimp out everybody's kids to go work for an airline, and not just any airline. Okay. I want you to have your children or yourself get a side gig with an airline that is considered a legacy airline. Legacy airlines in the US were all having international flights prior to a certain legislation coming into place. So there are 3 in the US, American, in order of alphabetical order: American, Delta, United. Okay, there's only 3 in the US. And those 3 travel everywhere. So if you get a job with one of those places, if you get a side gig with one of those places, or your children do, you guys can travel for free internationally everywhere. You can travel. Well, I don't know about everybody's costs for everybody's airlines, but I know about 2 of them, and 2 of them you can go anywhere domestically for free. Your parents can go anywhere domestically for free. Your minor dependent children can go anywhere for free in the US. And then you, as the employee, can have either your spouse or a companion, a single. Some airlines offer 2 companions, and they can go anywhere in the US for free. But once you leave the US, you can go into that country for free, so long as that country does not have an entry fee. If that country has an entry fee, you have to pay that, but it comes out of your paycheck. And to come back, every single country has a certain tax that you have to pay in your airline ticket to come back, right? But it's never really that much. I think the most expensive one is like $100, but there are certain countries that have luxury taxes. So places in the UK and France and Singapore, I think. What's up? You need help? Okay. 1 second, guys. Oy, just pop my knees. Gonna have pants on today. Otherwise, I'd be getting up out here and mooning people. Yeah, it's gonna be cold. Turn on. Turn on. Okay. Make sure you put your sunscreen on, okay? You need me to help you? Okay, hold on. Oh, nice haircut. Just noticed. So sorry, guys. So sorry. He needed help. Sheets in the water. Dryer. Okay, thank you. We're washing our master bedroom, our sheets and our pillowcases, and then the spare bedroom. We're washing all of those sheets and pillowcases. Delilah, I used to use a few Sunday Riley products. I've heard of those products. I haven't tried them yet. I would love to work for the airline. How and where to apply? Okay. Miss Linda, send me an email. My email is listed in every single video description except for my lives, I think. I will write it right here. Okay, this is my email address, but it's at Gmail. I don't want to put the whole email address in comments because then you get a bunch of weird emails, but it's this plus, so Life with Lala YT at Gmail. So send me an email. I will be more than happy to help you figure that out. My mom, now that she's an empty nester, wanted to go work for an airline, and I told her what for. All three of your kids work for now 2 legacy airlines. My older brother and I work for the exact same airline, and then the other one works for a different legacy airline. But there is no need for you to get an airline job. You already have free flights because you're on mine, and my older brother, his name is Roy. My little brother, his name is Juan. So you're already on mine and Roy's, and you'll be on Juan's. So you have all of this flight benefits already. You don't need more. Go work for a hotel. You go work for a hotel, Mom, because then you get us discounts working at a hotel. She was like, I don't know how to work at a hotel. What do you mean? You've spent 60 years cleaning. You can't work as a housekeeper? She goes, oh, I can do that. I can scrub a toilet. Yes, I will apply. So she wants a job. And she's only a few points away from getting her Social Security. So my mom's never really worked. For those of you that don't know, for those of you who didn't watch my How I Got PTSD video, Why My Dad in the Prison video, my mother was seriously injured many years ago. And as a result, she has been unable to have a job because she would get severely sick for a very long time. And it would just come out of nowhere, and it would be like debilitatingly sick. And so she was unable to work. But now that she's older and through the grace of God, she no longer gets that. So she can work. She just doesn't have to. But we've told her, go work for a hotel. It'll be awesome. What types of remote positions are most common with airlines? Customer service. What I do is the most common. Southwest is actually the best option. I would 100% work for Southwest, except if you really want to travel internationally, don't do it. Because yes, they pay the highest. They are the highest paying airline in the US. However, they don't go nowhere. They go locally, right? I think they have 2 international routes. One of them is somewhere in Mexico. I think Cancun, I think. And then the other one is, want to say Jamaica. I think Montego. I think they go to Montego Bay. I can't remember for sure, but they're the highest paying. So if you need the money, go there. But if you don't, and you're only doing it for the benefits like I do, I mean, yes, I need the money, but you know what I mean? Work for a legacy. My little brother, when he was going to, when he was doing his schooling for his bachelor's, he worked for a regional airport. Those of you that are familiar with Northern California know of a town called Monterey, California. It's a very, very small town, but it is a very rich place. And it is like 2 miles away from my hometown, right? Like it's the next town over. And they have a regional airport. So a lot of regional airports will offer you the opportunity to work for a legacy airline. So United was the legacy airline there. And they had regional employees, but as a benefit to the regional, you got 100% flight benefits with the main airline, right? So you can fly anywhere that United went. My brother worked there. He went to London. He went to, I don't think he ever went to Japan on his benefits. I think he only did that on mine, but he might have. I know he went to London. I know that, but I don't remember where else he went. But he was everywhere. Every chance he got, he was flying everywhere. And I have gone in international first class to Japan and back. And when we looked up the prices, and I'm pretty familiar with the prices because I work in reservations, that's what I do. Those tickets were like $10,000 and up, right? But flying to Japan, I paid that much. Flying home from Japan, it was like $65 or less. I've 100% paid less than $70 for that entire round trip flight. And mind you, I went from here in Texas. I flew to JFK. I visited with my brother for the day and overnight. And then in the first thing in the morning, we flew back to California to visit our mom for a couple of days. And then we were there for a couple of days. And then from California, we flew to Seattle. And then from Seattle, we looked up and we said, where can we fly? And then like we looked at the options, right, that we're going to be leaving. And then we went into our airline website and we saw this flight is wide open. Let's go on that one. So that's how we ended up in Japan. Our plan was we would go to a main airport that flies everywhere. So San Francisco or Seattle or LAX would have been one of those options in California. And once we got there, then we will figure out where we're going to go because it was my first like international outside of Canada trip, right? So my brother was like, I want to go in first class and I won't go in anything else. So let's see. And then we were able to go to, at that time, Kyoto. So we went to Kyoto, Japan, Kyoto in Japan. And then that was free and it was awesome. And then to come back, it was like, I don't remember, $55 or $65. But it was one of those. And they take it out of your paycheck, so you don't even have to pay it right away. But with regionals, you will have the ability to get the flight benefits with that airline. But no matter how long you've worked there, you could have worked there for 50 years, you will always come after the mainline's employees. So there can be a mainline employee who's only worked there for 6 months. They will be above you, period, no matter what, always. So I don't always recommend using or working for a regional, but if you can, that has full flight benefits with a mainline, do it. So he worked in this tiny little airport and he was a baggage handler. He only worked there for 6 weeks and then he quit. He never planned to stay there. He was just like, I'm going to do it in the meantime. Even though he had my flight benefits, he could have went anywhere he wanted on my airline, but whatever. So then he decided he would become a flight attendant too. And through my flight benefits, this is where I'm so grateful to my employer. Okay. And really they have nothing to do with this, but the fact that they gave me flight benefits and I was able to put my brother on those benefits. He traveled to Japan a couple times, to Korea a couple times, to Canada, to London. He went to Ireland. He went to Switzerland. One day, I think I talked about it in one of my walks. He called me. He was like, hey, what do the loads look like to go to Switzerland tomorrow? And I was like, why? He's like, because there's a concert that I want to go to. And here in America, they're like $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 for the seats that are left. But over there, it's like $100. And I was like, cool. Okay. So he was able to go to Switzerland and go to this concert. He paid less money the entire time he was there. And everything is super expensive there for his hotel that he got on points, for the flight that I paid for, because I told him it was my gift to him for his UCLA graduation. But I mean, I gave him a gift too, but that was, and then the food that he ate while he was there, and it was awesome. And he got to do all of that, and he paid like $200 or $300 for the entire trip. And he was like, it's less than this. And I got to go to Switzerland. And so it was a really great experience for him. But through those experiences of him having time off and him wanting to travel, he realized his love for travel. And then he changed his mind on what he wanted his career to be. And now he's a flight attendant, and it's great. And it's a great job, and it pays really well. Really, really well. Right now, the top out pay is somewhere around $90 an hour. An hour to be a flight attendant, you guys. That is more than $1 a minute. Do it. And your children can do it. And there's no shame in it. I mean, it's an amazing job. You get to be a professional tourist and get paid for it. I mean, come on. when my husband and I are semi-retired someday, and I'm not sure we'll ever fully retire. And you don't have to be fully retired. It could legitimately be a side job. I know a guy when I used to work for the Pebble Beach Company, and if you guys don't know what the Pebble Beach Company is, look it up, because Pebble Beach is a beautiful place. But he was a valet driver, and I was too. But I did the buses and he did the cars. And his full-time job was the valet job because he made a ton of money there. But his part-time job was working in the Monterey Regional Airport, and he was a baggage handler like 1 day a week, and they got flight benefits and they got to go everywhere. Okay, so I'm not sure we'll ever fully retire. I could see one of us using a part-time customer service job like this just for the flight benefits. We love to travel. Yes, do it. 100%. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. And for your children, and they can do this career and not have student loan debt. No one has student loan debt. And they'll make more money than a lot of degrees will pay them. So, I mean, you don't get paid for your degree, but you know what I mean. And right now we travel super cheap because hubby gets miles and points from work travel that gets reimbursed, but he keeps the perks. That is awesome. I mean, half of our elite flyers are all this elite status because of work travel. And because of that work travel, that's how they get it. But I highly recommend it. If you guys want me to go more in depth about it, we could talk about it on next week's live. If you guys have any questions about it, please feel free to email me at any time, but we can definitely have this conversation through a live if you want. And I am more than happy to give you any advice that I have. I'm happy to help you prepare for your interviews. And I will say this about me. I am very, I'm not good at selling myself, but I am incredibly good at interviews, and I get every single job I've ever wanted. And that is just the truth. And that's not to brag, but any job I've ever really wanted, I've always gotten. Always, always, always. And I don't know. I guess it's because I grew up, I'm very street smart. So I think it came from that, because I'm not book smart. You know, I did not graduate high school. The highest grade that I went up to and passed was 7th grade. But I do know how to get a job, and I can help you. And I do know what the job requires because I've been doing it for 7 years. So I can help you. And not all employers are going to offer remote work, but I will say this, Delta Vacations offers remote work. However, Delta Vacations is a fully owned subsidiary of Delta. So they get the full flight benefits, but they, like regional airlines, will come at the bottom. You could work there for 100 years, does not matter. If somebody at the main line has been there for 6 months, they are going to come above you. But it is a great opportunity. They don't pay very well, but doesn't matter because you're doing it for your flight benefits, right? And you 100% everything is work from home. 100%. They do not do any office work at all, like in an office. I mean, they don't work in an office. So if you work for Delta Vacations, you can have Delta flight benefits, which is amazing. But I think they get paid I think it's like $15 an hour, but who cares? You're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the benefits, right? Do it. But I don't recommend that for a career if it's your kids. For a career, I recommend working for the main line. But I was able to help my brother, and he got a job interview with Delta, United, and American Airlines, all three. Plus, he got it with Southwest, and he got it with the Alaskan, and he got it with other airlines. But not the point. Those were the ones that he wanted, those three, and he got an interview with every single one of them, and he was able to utilize my brother and myself and our experience to secure those interviews. And he was offered 2 of them, and together we were able to decide which one he should take. And had he been offered the job with our airline, he would have taken it because, in my opinion, they are the best airline. But I'm not talking about for like flyers. I'm talking about for the employees because of all of the stuff that we get. And I don't mean like physical stuff. I mean like the benefits that we get. Like like the profit sharing that we get that is paid once a year. It's just a bonus. And like our employer assistance program, employee assistance program, or your EAP, they offer a lot of great things, which is how I see a nutritionist for free every single time I need to see her. Right now, we were meeting once a week for a couple of weeks, and then now we are going to meet every 3 weeks and then go from there. But it's free. They offer me the ability to use the Noom platform for free. I have a program called On Duo because I'm a type 2 diabetic. So I can use that program, and they work with my insurance, not my medication, but my diabetic supplies for free. And anytime I need more, I could just send them a message to my house. I don't have to go anywhere for them. And all of that is included through the service. They have a lot of those kinds of benefits, and take advantage of them. If you work for a corporate company, highly suggest that you look into their EAPs and see what they offer, because they may be offering things that you don't even know that can help you and can benefit you. My medical insurance covers 100% of the cost for my dietitian. I do not even have a copay. Pay $0. So it is worth it to look into it. If you guys are interested, I use Nourish. So it's all virtual, and I'm able to do that. And I have searched through their database for people who are eligible to work here in Texas, and use somebody who has a lot of experience working with disordered eating and eating disorders, because I felt that it was best for me to do that. So you guys should look for that. Yeah, hubby has million miler status with Delta, and he never pays for his travel. That's awesome. That's awesome. And just so you know, I love Delta, I love American, and I love United for those things. But I really have a heart for 2 of them more than anything now, because the other one is because I really just loved that company. And I was actually offered a job with all 3 of them, and I had to choose. And I was also offered with Southwest. I had to choose which one, and I went with the one that I went with because my brother at the time was the only one working for an airline. So I chose that airline because I figured when we travel, we can travel together, and no matter where we are, we always end up in the same place because we work for the same airline. And if I worked for a different one, that might not always be the case. Although most of the legacies go to the same places, they don't go always. They don't always have the ability to do that, but highly recommend it. It is an amazing opportunity to travel. And when you retire, or if your children retire, their parents still get to do that. So my mother and her husband have the opportunity to travel the world, and it's an amazing opportunity. And I highly suggest that is something that your children look into, if it is something that they are, or grandchildren look into, if it's something that they need some help figuring out what they want to do with their life. It is a great job to be a flight attendant. I'm not talking about all jobs with the airline. A pilot and a flight attendant are just amazing jobs. They're just amazing jobs. And if they can do it, they should do it, because you guys will benefit as well from being able to travel anywhere you want. And, I was not in a position after COVID happened to be able to travel. I just wasn't mentally ready for it. I wasn't physically ready for it, because the world isn't created for people my size. When you go to other countries, even I was at my smallest when I went to Japan. I was 235 pounds, and I still didn't fit everywhere. I mean, I did fit, but not always comfortably, and not always easily. And that really scared me from traveling now. Like, as I got bigger and bigger and bigger, I got more and more and more scared. And now I know that I can do that again. And so can you. You can travel. You can go anywhere you want. And nowhere is off limits to you. Nowhere. And even if you don't have the same benefits that I do, you can find a way. You can find a way. My brother has credit cards that he only uses to pay for every single thing in his life. And then he pays it back. Like, he has the money and he pays for it just so he can earn the points, so he can have miles. just in case he gets stranded somewhere. And, since he doesn't work for an airline, he'd have to come back anyways for work. He can purchase his tickets if he has to instantly. He got stuck in Japan and he couldn't get out. It was just taking, like, the flights were just too packed. So he ended up having to buy a last minute ticket, and he did it with miles. He was able to buy a ticket home from Japan for like 25,000 miles. And that's like nothing. I mean, yes, it's a lot, but for a last minute trip, it wasn't first class, it was main cabin, but who cares? And he was able to do that. And it was awesome. I do what your brother does with the Delta credit card, groceries, gas, everything goes on the card and gets, yes, everything, anything. Like he was like, he was calling me, he was calling my mom, he was calling my brother. He was like, hey, what can you guys pay with my credit card? And then, just pay me instead of them. And I will pay it with my credit card so that I can get the bonus miles and I can do this and I can do that. And so that's what we did. And it really, really pays off if you can do that. If you are not trustworthy with credit cards, please do not do that. Please, please, please. Because there are some of us who cannot have credit cards. And I used to be one of them. He's one of them. Cannot do it. So I highly recommend it to you guys. And I don't just recommend it because I worked there. I did it because of my recommendations, because of the fact that I saw what it can do. I grew up very, very poor, like incredibly poor. We had no money at all. My mom, when my dad went to prison, we were on welfare. We were on food stamps. We were on Section 8, which is a housing benefit. We were on every single government assistance program that you can be on, because when my dad went to prison, he left us with nothing. And he left us with nothing but my mother being ill, and she could not work because of his actions. And because of that, we were incredibly poor. And I mean, when I say incredibly poor, we used to have a car, right? That the doors wouldn't open or close. So we had to tie them with a rope, and you had to climb in and out through the window. And I'm not kidding, through each of the passenger and the driver window. You had to climb in and out of the car through the windows because we couldn't open the doors because they had to be tied with the rope. You didn't have a key. We had a key, but the ignition switch was broken. So we had to start it with the screwdriver. Yeah. When I say we were poor, I mean it. And for us to think about traveling, traveling to us was going to the next town over, to a town called Prunedale, and going to the park. I'm not kidding when I tell you, we never went on vacation. I went to Disneyland once, and I told you guys I told you that story. It was to get away from the police because of them looking for somebody. And we ran away from the police and we went to Disneyland. But that was a trip that we had been planning for literally years. And we never did anything. And my brother and I really, really, really wanted to have opportunities to travel. And we wanted to introduce our baby brother to stuff like that, even though we had never done it. And now both of my brothers travel the world. They travel the world. My brother is in Amsterdam right now. And I was texting him yesterday. I didn't know he was gone. And then he said something, and I was like, wait, where are you? You're not home? He was like, no, I'm in Amsterdam. What are you doing in Amsterdam? He's working. And I was like, how funny. I'm watching a movie about a bank robbery at Apple in Amsterdam. It's called I Hostage on Netflix. From what we saw, it was pretty good. We didn't finish watching it because we had to do something. Because we were watching something that was happening in Amsterdam, and he was in Amsterdam. And I said, hey, back from Amsterdam, he had found some pesto cheese. The Netherlands are known for their cheese, you guys. If you ever go to the Netherlands, eat some cheese. Oh my God, it was so good. It was pesto cheese. It was green and it had the pesto, and it was so good. And he got it on clearance for like $2 or $3. And he brought them home. He brought one for me, one for my mom, one for himself. And it was so good that I still dream about that cheese. So I told my brother, hey, bring me back some cheese. He's like, okay, well, what do you want? I was like, I don't know, whatever's on clearance. Pick that one, or ask them for the recommendations. He said they didn't have any clearance options. So he's going back in a week or something. So I told him, it's okay. When you go back, look again. But you get to experience things, or we get to experience things that we never imagined we could do. We never imagined, for us to imagine a dream vacation, it was to go to Disneyland, stay in a hotel. And that was our dream thing, And it wasn't because of anything other than we didn't understand that we could do things like that. We didn't know because we never had money to do that. So we weren't raised like with, yearly trips. And I know people who were raised with yearly vacations and they may not have gone all over the world, but they did these things regularly. We never did. We never did. And it was like, okay, these are real things that we really can do. We really can. And you really can too. You really can. And there really are real life jobs who will pay you well enough to be able to do these things. I have friends who literally work friends, not real life. I don't consider them real life friends. They're work friends because we don't hang out outside of work. All right. Everything is work related. So I have friends who literally will fly anywhere that they possibly can. Just walk around the town, experience the life, experience the culture, and then turn around and walk right back to the airport. They don't even stay in a hotel. They will sleep at the airport for the next flight and come back, or they'll sleep on the plane. They'll only be there for a few hours, but for them, they can do that because it only costs them $65 to come back. And then they're able to go again the next time they have 2 days off. It really opens up a world of opportunity. I'm not kidding when I tell you that I know people who go and fly to Rome. Most people can only dream of going to Rome. They fly to Rome to pick up butter. And I'm not kidding when I tell you that. They come home with a suitcase full of butter because the butter is amazing. But they fly to a foreign land to pick up a single thing. They go for lunch and they come back. Only rich people on TV do stuff like that. But guess what? You don't have to be rich to do that. You don't. You just have to have the right job. What? You can fly to Rome for butter? They really do. They really, really do. Flight attendants. I know flight attendants who come home from their trips that they got to go out there with a suitcase full of butter because their butter is freaking amazing. And I'm not kidding. And you guys really could open doors like that with a little side gig job. Your kids could open those doors for themselves. And the money is not bad. $90 an hour? An hour. What? And the starting rate for flight attendants is like 35 or something like that. 35 or 36 or something. I don't remember, but it's something like that. But that's not bad. Yes, it's not a lot of money in like the world that we live in, right? Because, this world is expensive. But when you travel to these places as a flight attendant and they're sending you there, they pay for your hotel, and it's always 4-star or 5-star hotels. They're very safe hotels. They're very nice hotels, and they pay for it. And your family could fly over there and join you and stay in your hotel for free, and you don't have to pay for it. All you have to do is buy food. And as a flight attendant, they even give you a per diem to buy food. So you don't even have to buy your own food. You could, but you don't have to. It's an amazing opportunity, you guys. If you never considered it, please consider it. Seriously, please consider it. I really am serious when I tell you that I'm trying to get my mom to go be a housekeeper at a hotel, like a major hotel. We want her to work at the Hilton or the Marriott, something like that. Just because, not for any other reason, but we need them to have like hotels throughout the world. Because that's how you get to use your benefits, right? If there's everywhere in the world, then you could stay anywhere in the world for discounted employee rates. And sometimes some hotels, I think it's the Hilton, but it might be the Marriott. I'm not sure. One of them. You get a benefit where you only pay $25 for your hotel stay. And that hotel could be a $400 a night hotel, and it doesn't matter. It's only $25 for you. I don't know if it's limited or not. That I don't know. Because my cousin, her uncle, works for, I don't remember which one. Hampton Inn? I don't know. One of them, right? I don't think Hampton Inn is expensive. I think it's Hilton or Marriott. And he works for one of them, and he gets to stay anywhere he wants for $25 a night. He doesn't go nowhere, but if he did, he could do that. So these are opportunities that really are open to you guys. And I am absolutely happy to help you if you need the help. And Miss Linda, please email me, because I am going to help you figure out what you can do. My mother-in-law worked at Marriott as an admin assistant for many years. She's been retired for over 15 years, and I don't think she has that benefit anymore with them. That's sad. You don't get any retirement because if you retire properly with an airline, you have to work there at least 10 years. You have to have so many points, right? You have to work there for at least 10 years and be over a certain age, and then you'll get your flight benefits for life. But yes, I'm telling you, they have amazing benefits. And Dr. Bobby, you're aware because you've experienced it. That is so awesome. And I want my mom to go do that. I mean, she only needs so many points for her Social Security. And then once she gets those, and we can use them, and we're over here planning my mom's 60th birthday. And I keep telling her, Mom, we can take you anywhere in the world you want to go. And you want to go where? She doesn't know. And we decided ultimately it has to be somewhere tropical because my mom doesn't do well in cold weather because of her metal plate in her head. So because of that, we have to go somewhere like that. But I promise you guys, the opportunities that you will open or your children will open, and no student loan debt. My brother just started, right, with this airline. One of the people in his training classes was working for the CDC, doing what my brother wanted to do, actually. She was working in infectious disease in the CDC. I don't remember what she was doing. She didn't do exactly what he was doing, but she worked for the division or whatever that he wanted to work in, he wanted to be a research doctor doing that. And she lost her job when all the cuts happened, and she says she understands why it happened. She was upset about it, but she understands why it happened because she really was getting paid a lot of money to do nothing. And but she's a flight attendant now, and she said it's something she's always wanted to do, but she felt trapped by her government job because it was so well paying, and she was scared to leave it, and then she was given no choice. So she is a flight attendant now, and she's like, I will be making more money after 2 years here than I would be in my CDC job. So, and she has she said $100,000 of debt because her and my brother were talking about it because he got all interested. He was like, oh, that's what I wanted to do. And, my brother got into Georgetown to do it. And we ultimately decided that, he didn't make the decision by himself. He said he included us because it affected us, because we were all going to help him pay. But his student loan or his tuition was going to be $125,000, and it was only going to be 1 year program. But it was an accelerated program where he would get his master's and his doctorate at once. And I don't know how that was even possible. No, his master's and not the doctorate. It was his master's and some other infectious disease thing. And it is the most elite program in the US, and they get 10,000 US applicants a year, and they only choose 100 or less. And then they get something like 100 or 200 international students apply every year, and they only pick, I think he said 25 or less. And he was one of the first because he got in with the early admission. He did his early admission, and then he was officially accepted even before they started the official admissions. And he was so excited he was going to go do that. But then one day he had nothing to do, so he flew to Korea or somewhere, and he was like, you know what? I really love to do this. I didn't realize it, but I love to do this. I would love to travel and to get paid. So he changed his mind, and he decided he wanted to be a flight attendant and possibly a pilot. He's still very young. He's only 23. He could still be a pilot if he wanted to. But I told him, you don't have to be a pilot. If you want to be a flight attendant, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great job. It's a fabulous job. They pay you great. You'll see the world for the rest of your life. And it's an amazing job. And they don't have forced retirement like pilots do. Pilots, legally, you have to retire at whatever age. I forgot what age. It is a legal requirement by the FAA. You cannot keep working. But you could be a flight attendant until you die. Or, and a lot of people really do. They stay flight attendants in their late 60s, 70s because it's a great job with great pay. great benefits, and you have to work so many hours a month or a year or something in order to keep like your medical benefits. So a lot of flight attendants don't ever retire until they die, and I mean that. And it's a great opportunity. So if you've never thought about it, I hope you do. But I have kept you guys for much longer than I anticipated, and I'm so sorry for that. But as I always tell you, because I absolutely from the bottom of my heart mean it, thank you. Thank you so much for spending the time that you have that is so valuable here with me. I will never understand, like, just, I will never be able to express to you what it means to me in order to make you understand just how important it is to me and just how valuable it is to me and how honored it makes me that you guys are willing to do that. Spend your time, the only thing on earth that cannot be sold or bought. And I love it. And I thank you guys so much for that. And I'm going to give you digital hugs. And one day I'm going to figure out how to make this work with my other camera so I don't keep getting this weird quality. But I adore you guys so much. Thank you. Oh, Miss Sandra, thank you. I love watching your videos. Thanks for sharing your stories with us. You're very welcome. I have a lot of stories, and I always get afraid to tell you guys my stories because I was judged my entire life for being dirt poor and being ghetto, and like I grew up in the barrio, like for real. And I grew up where you did not sit down in the living room to watch TV. You lay down on the floor because drive-bys. And I'm not kidding when I say that. I can't even explain to you how many times there were bullet holes in our living room wall. And it didn't faze us. Like, it doesn't bother us. We would just lay down on the floor because, if you sit down, you could get shot. But if you lay down, you won't. And, well, usually you won't. You could, but usually you can lay down and you'll be fine. And you just lay down and watch TV. And that's what we did. And, we grew up very rough. And oftentimes when I tell these stories, like, I feel like I'm being judged all over again. But, it is what it is. I mean, it's how I grew up. It's how I lived. It's what I know. And, I know a lot of people don't understand. Like, a lot of people tell me all the time here in Texas, oh, Texas has a hood. Texas has a hood. And I'm like, okay, where's the hood? I don't see a hood. California is so gang active. I grew up in the number one gang active city in the U.S. by statistics, right? Because it's a small town. It only had like 144,000 people, but my town was the most, like, statistically violent and scary town that you could ever live in the U.S. And we grew up where it was number one, then it was number two, number three, and it would go back and forth between 1 and 3, but it was never lower than number 3. And it's like, me personally, in my family alone, I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 people who have all been injured with pew-pews. And 1, 2, 3 are no longer with us because of that. And one of them was a domestic issue, and the other ones were, actually, 2 of them were domestic issues. The other ones were gang stuff. But, it's the way I grew up. It's how I lived. And, it made me who I am today. I'm not afraid of anything. Like, people are always like, aren't you afraid to work that late and be outside and do this? I'm like, no, I'm not afraid of anything. Like, the only thing that scares me, like, seriously, is venomous creatures. Because those things, and I don't like cockroaches. They scare me. I guess you could take me down with some loud sudden sounds, but outside of that, there's not a lot that scares me. And it doesn't scare me. It just, I guess it does. When it happens, like when the sound happens, it, like, I don't know, sends me into another world. But that's a PTSD issue. And yeah, so thank you, Delilah, for being an awesome, knowledgeable and helpful. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. Seriously, Ms. Linda, please send me an email. I'm more than happy to help you with that, for whoever the opportunity would be for. I would love to help you. Hugs. It's big fun to hang out with you. Oh, thank you. Thanks. You guys, just so you know, I am considering doing like a midday live during the week, if that's something that you guys would be interested in, because I know that Sundays are really hard. I mean, Saturdays are really hard, and Sundays are the only day David 100% has off every single week, no matter what. So I don't like to like commit to doing something on the only day that he and I can spend like quality time together, because he works all day. He comes home, I'm already working. And by the time I get off of work, he's already asleep. And often he's even sleeping in the spare room because he has to get up so early and we're just waking each other up. And it's not conducive of quality sleep for either of us. So, you know, it sucks. But, you know, Sunday we have that time, and I can't take that away from us by being here. And but I would love to give you guys another option for those of you who, you know, this just doesn't work well for you. I want to continue Saturdays, but I also want to open up a weekday if it's option, because I start work at 3:15. Well, technically 3:30, but I start at 3:15. Like I clock in at 3:15 because I can get off 15 minutes earlier. So instead of getting off at midnight, I'll get off at 11:45. And I know that doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is. It is a big difference. And so I can be ready for bed by midnight and be asleep by 1 a.m. That's a big difference for me. So I want to try to do something like midday, because I don't get up very early. I try to, but usually I don't get up till like 9 or 10 because I go to bed so late. But usually I don't fall asleep till like 3 a.m, but that's not the point. Anyways, so I am considering it. But for those of you who want to participate in the book club, I would love to hear your ideas on how you want it to be. Like, do you want it to be done through lives, or do you want it to be done like in a pre-recorded video? I'm super excited, and we are going to do this together, and we're going to be rich. Haha. And, you know, it's not rich to be rich. It's rich to meet your needs without ever having to think about it. Your children's needs, your grandchildren's needs, their children, their children, their children. You know, it's to build generational wealth, and so that your children's children's children don't have to go to bed hungry, you know, and that kind of stuff. It's to better your family, to better your community, to better your life, to better your people. And to me, that can never be matched by another option, you know. And yes, it's true that the Bible does tell us that the love of money is the root of all evil. However, money itself isn't. It's the love of money. And I mean, I need money because the world requires it. You need money because the world requires it. So why not make it? Why not have it? So this is a safe environment, Delilah. We listen, we don't judge, we support, not tear each other down. And I do understand that, but it is very hard for me because it is something that I've dealt with my whole life. But in the end, I really just don't care anymore. I can't change it. It's who I am, you know. This is how I grew up. This is what I've seen. This is my experiences, you know, like it's life. So yeah. Aw, Perfectly Pamela. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, as Miss Perfectly Pamela is reminding you if you haven't already done so. Miss Sandra, I wouldn't be able to watch, but I would catch the replay if that works better for you to do it. No, I would not replace Saturdays. It would be in like an addition. But, you know, because I don't go to work till really late. So I have the option where I'm not doing a whole lot during the day. So I would have that option to do that if it would work out. And if not, that's cool too. But you guys, I hope you have an amazing Saturday. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please, please, please remember to wear your sunscreen. Please, please wear your sunscreen. Please. Miss L, I know you're listening, even though you may not be able to participate, but I am praying for your mother. I know this is very scary, and she's in my prayers and in my thoughts, and we are all going to wear sunscreen in honor of your mother's diagnosis, okay? All of you, right? Promise? Promise? Pinky swear? Pinky swear. But I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you guys soon. And if you want some help picking out some sunscreen stuff, or some skin care stuff, check out Al's channel Elle Naturally here on YouTube. She does a lot. She also has rosacea and has sensitive skin and acne prone skin. So she does a lot of videos doing those where she tests them out for you guys, and she tests them out for a while before she ever talks about them. And she goes into a lot of really good information on these things. But if you would like some personal help, I am more than happy to do that. Send me an email, Miss Sandra. If you want to look into, I know you said it's overwhelming, but if you want to look into a routine that would not overwhelm you, I'm happy to help you. Send me an email. We can figure it out together. And I am more than happy to do that for you. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I love you all, and I will see you soon. Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.